A rejuvenated Sri Lankan outfit are set to take on a team they have not beaten for 23 years. Welcome to Colombo as we bring you live telecast, a live action from Racecourse. It's Sri Lanka playing host to Maldives in the South Asian Super Cup 2025. I have Reshwan with me in the commentary box. Reshwan, the picture painted out here at the Racecourse, it is sublime. It looks sublime for a great game of football.
Indeed, Romario, brilliant conditions for football. Two teams who are looking to make their name as well. Sri Lanka will hope, as Romario mentioned, to try and win against Maldives after 23 long years. So long wait for Sri Lanka if they are to win today, this evening, or even on the 9th of September in that second game of the South Asian Super Cup 2025. Brilliant conditions as you see the weather forecast for the day. Partly the sun is out, so hopefully the weather gods will be kind to us as the game goes on and the rains stay away here in Colombo. But as of now, we are in for a very special and a very interesting game of football on our cards as Sri Lanka take on Maldives here in Colombo.
Well, the head-to-head stats don't look too good in favor of Sri Lanka. Their last victory came in 2002. Before that, they beat Maldives in 2000, and the first game the two teams ever met was in 1984, and that one was where Sri Lanka won as well. So those are the 3 wins, and Maldives, well, they have won 9 games with both teams not being able to be separated 10 times.
Indeed, the numbers don't favor Sri Lanka, but an opportunity for them to make that 4 wins. But they'll play a very formidable looking Maldives outfit as we see the previous 5 meetings between these two teams. It was the recent time where they met was in 2022, where Maldives got the better of Sri Lanka 1-0, and then earlier in 2021 absolutely a thriller here at Racecourse 4-4, where Wasim Razik made a name for himself that evening, absolutely pulled Sri Lanka back and really gave a point in that Mahinda Rajapaksa Cup. And then later on in 2021 the SAF Championship, Sri Lanka went down to Maldives 1-0. So results may have not been going Sri Lanka's way, Romario, but they'll hopefully that things will go their way in these 2 games here. As we see, the recent form for Sri Lanka have been quite good.
Indeed, it has been quite good. They managed to beat Chinese Taipei 3-1 here at Racecourse on the 10th of June. And before that, they did beat Brunei as well 1-0. Thailand got the better out of Sri Lanka, but before that, Sri Lanka managed to defeat Laos 2-1. And the final of that, the first of that 5th game was a draw with Myanmar, as both teams, there was nothing to separate the 2 teams.
Indeed, I think if we see those results, Romario, in the last 5, I think Sri Lanka just went down to Thailand 1-0, which was a very, very big test away from home as well, in front of a packed house crowd. So they'll hope things will go their way this evening here at home. But we see the recent form for Maldives. They went down to Timor-Leste in the AFC Asian Cup qualification on the 10th of June, 1-0, as they've lost against Singapore as well, 3-1 in an international friendly. So Maldives will really hope that things will go their way in the coming few days as they take on Sri Lanka here in Colombo. Quite familiar conditions for them, but they'll really want to come back into winning ways as we see their recent form not so good. They have lost their last 5 games, so plenty of amends to make for Maldives away from home once again.
Indeed, they'll be hoping for a change of fortunes for themselves as they take on Sri Lanka here. The only hoodoo against Sri Lanka will be that we have not beaten them for 23 long years, but I think on form and on first viewing, Sri Lanka seem to be coming in to the game as favourites on home soil in this South Asian Super Cup encounter, the first of 2 games.
Indeed, I think everything will be on show here at the Colombo Racecourse. Things are getting in readiness here at the Racecourse Stadium in Colombo. It's a South Asian Super Cup 2025 live from Racecourse. We'll head into a commercial break and be back from on the other side.
Welcome back to this live telecast from Racecourse. Both teams have completed their final warm-ups and they have headed back into the dressing room before they come back out for the all-important game. Kickoff is scheduled to happen at 16:45. As we have a look at the Maldives dressing room, Rashwan.
Indeed, the Red Snappers will hope to continue their good run against Sri Lanka, and especially Maldives will want to try and make amends. Things haven't gone their way in the recent past, so they'll well and surely have their work cut out against a well-formed Sri Lankan outfit under the guidance of coach Abdullah Al-Mutari. So plenty of work cut out for the visitors here in Colombo. Away from home, the Red Snappers will hope to try and get back into winning ways. We'll head into the interviews we had with the Maldives. Rather, before that, we'll just take a look at the Sri Lankan dressing room. The home side will hope and pray that their winning formula will continue in these two next games as well, Romario.
Indeed, the Sri Lanka team has brought in a couple of fresh faces, 5 to be precise, and they will no doubt be hoping to get this Super Cup, South Asian Super Cup 2025, couple of games off to a flying start. Sri Lanka have had some good games against Maldives in the past, but they have only been able to win 3 games. The first of the first encounter between the two sides in 1984, Sri Lanka managed to win 5-2. The next win came in 2000, 1-1, as there was a draw, and then Sri Lanka won on a penalty shootout 6-5. And in 2022, their third victory came against Maldives, a 1-0 victory in an international friendly. So those have unfortunately been the only 3 wins, as we see the Maldives team arriving. Well, it happened a couple hours ago, and this was how the Maldives team made their entrance into this Racecourse International Stadium here at Colombo.
Indeed, familiar surroundings for Maldives, playing a game here after 3 years. They have some fond memories as well. That recent game, that game did end up 4-all. It was a stellar game in favor of the host. They came from behind and absolutely shocked Maldives that day. So Maldives will come here hoping that their fortunes will change, and they'll hope they'll get back into winning ways. They haven't been at the best form in the previous 5 meetings, so plenty at stake here for Maldives as we head to the interviews we did with the Maldives contingent.
Slightly windy and humid conditions, but not alien to Maldives as well. They fully know these conditions really well. What are your thoughts coming into the first game of the South Asian Super Cup between Sri Lanka and Maldives?
Everybody is fit. That's the best thing we have got. The players are fit. They are ready to go, and these conditions are not new for us, except it's very rainy. Now the monsoon is good today, so hopefully it will be a good show from both teams. I hope inshallah we'll win.
Okay, thank you and all the best. Ibrahim, big game, like I said, for both Sri Lanka and Maldives. It's a derby game. What are your thoughts? Because you know quite a few of the players, they've played in Maldives as well. What are your thoughts about today's game?
No, it's a very important game for us, because it's been not good for Maldives football recently. We didn't have a good result, but this is a very good match, and we know Sri Lankan players, but now they have new players. But We will win, inshallah.
Okay, thank you and all the best. Hope for something positive for Maldives football as well.
Plenty at stake for the Maldives, as that player did mention that they'll want to get back into winning ways. Things haven't gone their way in the last few meetings, but here comes the home side, led by Sujan Pereira and guided by coach Abdullah Al-Mutari. We'll hope and will want to continue their good form into this South Asian Super Cup campaign as well. 2 games being played here in Colombo on the 6th of September and the 9th of September. So plenty at stake for the home boys, as Sri Lanka with some new faces in their ranks as well, and the likes of Jack Hingat, Claudio and
You know all about Maldives in and out. Big trophy as well on the line. We have 2 games. This is the first one. What are your thoughts coming to this big game?
I think we are ready because we are playing at home and we train like 7 days, around 7 days now. So all the boys are ready and confident. We analyze them well. So coach give us plans. Now we have to apply in ground.
Okay. Thank you and all the best. Coach, Sri Lanka against Maldives. You know all about Maldives as well when you were coaching Nepal as well. What are your plans and what are you thinking coming into this game? Because this is the first of the 2 games that will define the first ever South Asian Super Cup. What are your thoughts?
You know, South Asian Super Cup, it's very important. And as I said to the players, it is in our home ground, so the trophy cannot leave Colombo. We need to keep it in Colombo. I know everything about Maldives. We will try our best to finish everything in the first match, because I believe if we finish everything in this match, it's finished. So I hope today we can do something very good and make every Sri Lankan peoples happy and proud, inshallah.
Thank you and all the best.
indeed, those were the wise words from coach Abdullah Al-Mutari, who's had a brilliant run again with Sri Lanka, and we'll hope it continues as he wants to. Crowd still coming in here at the Racecourse Stadium in Colombo, as we are now moments away from kickoff, as Sri Lanka take on Maldives in game number 1 of the South Asian Super Cup 2025. Waiting for a very special game here. We all have been eagerly waiting for this encounter between Maldives, some friendly neighbours for Sri Lanka, as they'll hope, we have mentioned on plenty of occasions, that Sri Lanka will get back into winning ways. Sri Lanka's previous win coming against Maldives way back in 2002, and this is what both teams will be playing for, the South Asian Super Cup 2025. Sri Lanka and Maldives will battle it out in the next 2 games for that. Both teams will want to get their hands on it after that second game on the 9th of September. Time will tell us how it spans out, but as long as the home crowd are concerned, they'll want to try and enter that losing drought to Maldives and try and get back into winning ways, hopefully after 23 long years. And to take you through the game, I have my co-commentators with me, Romario De Silva and Deshan Gonabala. A very good evening to you both.
Thank you very much, Reshwan. Yes, indeed, we are no doubt expecting 2 thrilling encounters here between the 2 teams. The first of the 2 will be kicking off in about 6 minutes or so, as the crowd floods into this Racecourse Stadium. Still quite a few empty seats around, but I'm sure they will no doubt be filling up, and they will be filling up soon, because the game is set to kick off in less than 10 minutes or so. Welcome, Deshan.
Hello, Romario. It's good to be back in the commentators booth with you after a while as well, to talk our fans through and our supporters through, joining from here in Sri Lanka, Maldives and around the world, as we watch the first encounter of the Super Cup here at the Racecourse Stadium. A novel concept, renewing old friendships and rivalries. A friendship and rivalry that has seen both teams celebrate the highest of highs and, especially in Sri Lanka's case, the lowest of lows.
Indeed, Sri Lanka have not been able to record a victory for 23 long years, Deshan. So a win is overdue for the home team. And this time around, of course, they have quite a few new faces and players in good form, and playing in top leagues as well. So we will no doubt be expecting a much better show from Sri Lanka this time around.
Absolutely, gone are the days where a majority of Sri Lanka's national team players try their best to ply their trade in the Maldives, and as of today, Sri Lanka is represented by a number of players plying their trade across Europe and Australia, while Maldives sees still most of their players playing in the local Premier League over in the Maldives. So it's a different kettle of fish, and it's going to be a very different type of encounter under Coach Albuteri's reign, and it's going to be an interesting one. And I think the hosts would be disappointed not to come away with anything from this one, Rashwan.
Indeed, surely going into these two games, the host Sri Lanka will find themselves in that favourites position, but always the underdogs always try and come back. So Maldives are not to take lightly, especially against Sri Lanka. They'll come into these two encounters with a lot of heart and with a lot of belief, as Maldives have always put on a show against the island nation Sri Lanka. Plenty of nervous looking faces in the stands, as Sri Lanka's winless drought may be ended today against the Red Snappers. As we are now all in readiness here at the Racecourse Stadium in Colombo. Some aerial pictures from our production team as well. It's Sri Lanka and taking on Maldives. Sujan Pereira will lead the Lions out. It's a big game and a very eagerly waiting crowd here present here at the Racecourse Stadium. And now both teams will make their way to the playing field. Yes, the South Asian Super Cup 2025 in full swing here at the Racecourse Stadium.
The youngsters preparing to bring the flags out as they welcome the players onto the playing field, along with the match officials. A much anticipated moment for these youngsters who will be escorting the players both from Maldives and Sri Lanka.
Indeed, Romario. The players come out. It's Sri Lanka led by Sujan Pereira. He'll be the man between the posts. And Sri Lanka's hope will surely rely on him. It's the South Asian Super Cup, the silverware, where both teams will be fighting for. Not much of changes from Sri Lanka's previous game against Chinese Taipei here in Colombo. Some players are being rested, likes of Jack Hingett, and we'll head over to the national anthems of Sri Lanka and Maldives.
that's that. As the two national anthems have been sung, the two teams are now pretty much in the final phases before they get onto the field to play.
Indeed, this is the way Maldives will form in goal. Faisal, and they'll play a back four with Hassan, Irfan, Ahim and Ali. And in the midfield it will be Ais and Ahmed Ayam who will pair up in the midfield in the number 10 position, who will play a pivotal role in this game. Mohamed Hussein will share the right left wing and the right wing with Rizwan, and playing in that number 9 position will be Naiz Hassan. Head coach Mohamed Siaz would have had his word with his outfit prior to this important game.
And now lining up for Sri Lanka, Wasim Razik leads the line in a single attacker formation. De Silva on the left, Durant in that all-important number 10 position, with Oliver Kellard on the right side. Gareth Kelly and Leon Pereira, they will be sitting as the holding midfielders, while Hazmir, Dayabaran, Stevens, Yakadi and Rajendram will be making a new look back four for Sri Lanka, with the ever-reliant, ever-present Sujan Pereira guarding the sticks.
Well, both teams just getting their final thoughts through, final messages through, as the toss will be completed in a couple of moments. Muhammad Salim Said will be the man in charge, with Said Hamid and Muhammad Hamad, the two assistant referees who will be set to take charge of this game here at Racecourse.
Indeed, officials all the way from the Middle East to officiate things in the next couple of games. So the Maldives outfit who huddle up for one final time, and the Sri Lankan huddle led by Sujan Pereira. His voice will really make a difference in the next 90 minutes or so.
Absolutely, over the last few weeks and last few months at least, when Sri Lanka plays, we've had a very consistent back four playing for them. But this is the first time that they're trying out this back four. It's a little different, especially against Chinese Taipei. Claudio Kamenekt and Jason Dayabaran, they did fantastically well to hold fort and stop these attacks coming down the middle, really giving the attackers the opportunity to come forward and play their game. So it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. Oliver Kellard taking the free kick, taking the kickoff rather, at the center circle. He's been very potent. Dylan De Silva on the far side, on the near side here, in the number 11. Very direct, got tons of pace and acres of space to run into. As we wait for the referee's whistle to kick things off.
Indeed, it's things getting underway here at the Racecourse. Oliver Kellard kicks things off for the South Asian Super Cup 2025. As Sri Lanka will have position first up with Jason Thayaparan. Will play at the back together with Rajendram. As Deshan mentioned, a new look back four in the back with the likes of Claudio and Ingat resting for this couple of games. Nice composure shown by Sujan Pereira quite early on in the game. Will really make a big statement between the sticks for Sri Lanka.
Dylan De Silva getting involved early doors as Durant lets him go down the left flank. De Silva with the opportunity now to put the ball in, but well closed down this left flank. Mohamed Hazmir taking this throw in, gets the ball back, swings in across, a little bit behind Wasim Razik, but Razik does well to try to control it. Maldives turns over possession, and here we are with an opportunity now to push the ball forward. The number 10 Hamza Mohammed. He will be a key player for the Maldives as this game progresses, really carrying that ball across from the midfield into the attack.
Indeed, that transition from the back to that midfield will absolutely play a big role in the next 90 minutes or so, Deshan. We've seen how threatening Maldives can be in the recent past, especially against Sri Lanka. They've always found themselves doing well, especially in counter-attacking plays. Kashmir with the throw-in.
Ahmed Iham taking the throw in. He finds his teammate Samu Ali. Samu Ali driving forward here, looking for that opportunity to get the ball into the box. Work back to the right back. An opportunity at a little elevated pass and taking that little risk, but nothing doing. Ahmed Iham. Sri Lanka playing it out the back. Garrett Kelly combining beautifully to unleash the midfield, but not quite getting hold of the ball on that occasion. He's been a very important player for Sri Lanka since he made his debut for the national team, the Welling United midfielder. He's got tons of energy in those legs and he's got stamina to burn as well. And he's very comfortable setting into that back four and stepping out as a defensive midfielder, as Maldives now looking for opportunities to kind of wiggle something for themselves. Ahmed Iham.
Both teams still just trying to feel their way into this game. Neither team has really been able to hold on to possession to string a few passes together, but they will just be aiming to feel their way into this game and get a bit of momentum going.
Absolutely, and Romario, I think early doors you can see Sri Lanka look like their plan is to play out the back as much as possible. They've split their centre backs quite a bit, where both the centre backs are on the edges of the box, and Garrett Kelly is fitting into that central role, which suggests that they'll be pushing those fullbacks forward as the game goes on to really put the Maldivian defense under pressure.
Indeed, I think the fullbacks will press up, just unable to control things, but the first corner come in the way of Sri Lanka as the central holding midfield is sitting quite deep behind, but now with the corner, all the two main defenders too are making their way up, with Kavish just staying behind.
And Durant lifting this ball into the Garrett Kelly. Garrett Kelly nearly getting on the edge of it, but nothing doing there. He wasn't quite able to get his head onto that one, but a brilliant cross by Durant as the ball remains on this near side. Oliver Keller trying to wiggle his way into space. He manages to win another throw in. Oh no, it's been turned over. Maldives with the ball.
Brilliant passage of play there. Kelly almost getting to the end of it. Brilliant ball into that penalty area as well. Almost had Kelly. But Sri Lanka still keeping hold of position. It's always good to see Sri Lanka playing position-based football. And in the recent times, they've well and surely done well with it as well. Really trained those opposition runners. Really made life a lot difficult. Now once again, Sri Lanka with the attack. Rajendram down that right wing, puts that ball in, misses Razik, but Leon Pereira's, rather Wade Decker's first touch was a tad bit too heavy.
Leon Pereira, I think it was trying to get that ball under control before taking a shot, but just unable to do so.
Wade Decker, my apologies, sitting out for these couple of games.
Absolutely, and for those watching at home, Reshwan's a big Wade Decker fan. Not used to seeing him avoid Sri Lanka national team duty, Reshwan.
Indeed, he's been brilliant since his debut for Sri Lanka. Hopefully Sri Lanka won't miss the absence of Wade Decker up front this evening. Once again Hasmir out to De Silva. De Silva back to Hasmir. Hasmir now.
Just leaving the ball a bit not enough on that pass back to De Silva from Hasmir, but Sri Lanka will receive this throw in. Well, Sri Lanka are getting into the game and they are holding on to possession, Deshan.
Absolutely, they've made the middle of the park very compact and they've managed to hold on to the ball as much as possible. Maldives not really able to put their foot down so far in the game, and every time they've got the ball, especially the likes of Ibrahim Aysam, they've tried to unleash an attack down the flanks, but they've just not quite got their passes right, and that comes down a great deal to not having enough of the ball to really get those movements in place the way they'd like. And once again Sri Lanka now with the ball. Gareth Kelly now setting into the right back position. The fullbacks for Sri Lanka pushing right up there and making that overlapping run there. Wasim Razik just a bit too much on it. But this is a very interesting tactical battle that is going on at the moment. And so far, particularly for Sri Lanka, Stephen in that number 7 shirt has been doing a fantastic job stepping in for Claudio Camanect as the ball is hoiked to the middle and Jason Dayabaran gets rid of it. Just a bit too much on it for Hasmir, but he won't mind that. And now an opportunity for Maldives to get the ball into the box and really put that Sri Lankan defense under pressure. It looks like it's going to be Ahmad Iham that's going to be taking this throw in.
Good territory, Maldives to try and test this Sri Lankan defense. Puts that ball in. The delivery just misses everyone as Sri Lanka will have an opportunity to once again build from the back as they have done quite often. Game has gone past 8.5 minutes. We haven't seen much threat from both set of attacking players.
This time around though, Sujan Pereira says that I'll maybe just move this up field and can take it on from there.
Sujan Pereira sending this one long. Gareth Kelly in the middle there. Maldives as well. Aysam puts them under pressure, but the ball has been turned over. Durant now, Durant with the opportunity. He very nearly, Oliver Kellard just offside, but that was the right idea. Wasim Razik, Sam Durant and Oliver Kellard using that right side, those little passes to use that extra man that creates space.
He was expecting that pass to come first time, but just that second pass, as it took a second too long, by that time Oliver Kellard had strayed offside.
Bit too eager on that occasion, the Sri Lankan attacker, Oliver Kellard. Once again, a good ball being played. Sri Lanka just under some pressure in the back for a moment, but safely negotiated by Thayaparan. Once again loses position.
Living dangerously there, the centre backs of Sri Lanka, but somehow managing to just shove their way forward. Now building up on another attack as Wasim Razik drops deep. Cutting in is Durant as they sway the ball wide to Raj Mahendran. Tries to get the cross, but goes back to the right back, and all the way back goes Sri Lanka.
Dayabaran finds his skipper Sujan, and Gareth Kelly dropping back to offer that extra man in the middle of the park. Sujan Pereira happy to take his time. Dylan De Silva nearly found. He manages to get the ball under control. Can he keep it in? Yes, he can. Dylan De Silva now looking for that pass. Very well done by Hasmir to try and put some pressure on the defender. But equally up to it, Ibrahim Mahudi Hussain was tracked back from that forward position to help out in defence.
Indeed, the work rate will be really high for those wing backs of Sri Lanka, likes of Hasmir, who really has a lot of gas in him. Will really put in a big shift this evening against Maldives. And with Dylan De Silva in his side, those two will really need to pair up and pair up well. Now once again De Silva fails to keep hold of position, but Maldives now. This is good pressing from Sri Lanka, really putting that pressure on this Maldivian outfit.
Absolutely, and what an opportunity for the likes of Hasmir, the 27-year-old Navy player, replacing Jack Hingert, who is not here today. And what an opportunity to stamp his claim on a starting position, as Maldives here has an opportunity, very nearly trying to thread that ball through the needle. Nice Hassan doesn't manage to do so. Dylan De Silva slowing the game down. He's looking for some support. Hasmir. Back to De Silva. Hasmir. Jason Tayabaran. And losing the ball very cheaply on that occasion thanks to Stevens' pass, but Sri Lanka once again win it back. Works its way to Sujan Pereira. Sujan looking for that through pass, and it's hoiked beautifully. Dylan De Silva with an opportunity, comes down awkwardly, but well done by Ali Samu. With all that experience as well, he's not new to this game, the 29-year-old.
Indeed, a decent crowd in here at the Racecourse Stadium. This first game of the South Asian Super Cup 2025. And the home side will hope more support will come in as the game goes on. There's plenty of remaining seats on offer.
Absolutely, over here in Colombo, as we see Kellat walked off with a bit of a knock. Over here in Colombo, it's a super Saturday of sports. Not just this game, just across the street in the stadium behind us is the Bradby encounter taking place between Royal College and Trinity College. You have the South Asian Super Cup happening at the moment as well, not to forget the T20 international clash between Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe, as well as the Euro Formula Red Bull Ring featuring Sri Lanka's speedster Yevan David. So a big day of sport, and one can only hope the support here at the racecourse for both teams grows as the game goes on. But here we are, Maldives now, with the opportunity to make something happen. Hamza Mohammed spreads it out wide. Here's an opportunity now for Ibrahim Hussain. Ibrahim Hussain doesn't manage to control it, loses the ball. Hasmir will enjoy that very much.
Once again, Kelly getting into the act. He's been all over the park in his opening 15 minutes or so. Big workhorse for Sri Lanka once again. Good work done at the back for Sri Lanka. Once again, Dylan out to Hasmir. Hasmir to Pereira. Pereira turns and sends it right to the back to his skipper, Sujan Pereira.
Wasteful there from Pereira, but good pressing on the part of the Maldivians, forcing Leon Pereira to go for that rush pass back to Sujan, who couldn't really take it down on the first effort, which in turn forced him to have to look for that long pass that he couldn't really direct well enough. Maldives now with an opportunity. Jason Dayabaran coming through from behind the defender, behind the attacker, but the referee sees nothing wrong with that. Garrett Kelly back in that third centre-back position. Sujan Pereira getting rid of it. Two Sri Lankan players under it. But here's an opportunity now for Maldives. Ibrahim Hussain down the right flank with an opportunity to get the ball into the box. He gets it in. Maldives still with a chance, and here's the shot. No, well done by Garrett Kelly again, closing down that angle. He's been all over the pitch since this game started. And very well defended there by Anujan Rajendram and Garrett Kelly, who did wonderfully from a very compromising position to turn over the ball. And Anujan Rajendram coming down this right flank, he's looking for support and he's under pressure, he loses the ball. Maldives now with yet another opportunity. Here's the danger man, Hamza Mohammed. He's been in the thick of things, trying to send a pass. He manages to unleash his teammate. An opportunity to get a cross into the box, but Sujan Pereira smartly takes on Naiz Hassan's cross.
Sri Lanka living quite dangerously in the back, Deshan.
Absolutely, Yashwan, and it's a lot to do with just cheap turns over of possession that is leading to Maldives catching Sri Lanka on the counter attack. But the defense has been effective for the home side in making sure those chances remain reasonable chances and not really putting the goal at risk. Garrett Kelly now at left back as Hazmir pushes forward. Here's an opportunity now down this right flank. A charge. What a brilliant run there by the lads in white, and once again Wasim Razik now turning out to be more or less a veteran for the Sri Lankan team. Wasim Razik, the 30-year-old who plays his football in Hong Kong's first division with a beautiful drive, only to be taken off with a tackle. But here we go, here's now an opportunity. Mohammad Irfan thought he got rid of the danger, but here comes the cross. Just a bit too much on it for Garrett Kelly and Jason Tayabaran. So the ball making its way out for a throw-in for the lads in red.
Sri Lanka will have to be more clinical in set piece work. And the man on your screen, Wasim Razik, who did have a burst at that Maldivian defense a couple of moments ago, has fond memories against his opposition at this very venue as well. Deshan, he did get a hat-trick last time out under the lights here at Racecourse, where Sri Lanka had to come from behind to script a very memorable comeback that game for all. So plenty of work will be cut out this evening as well for the likes of Wasim Razik. Plenty of experience behind his back in Sri Lankan colours.
Maldives drive in through their number 9. However, he's been brought down and a free kick has been awarded. Hassan was the player who was fouled. So now an opportunity for Maldives to get the ball into the box, as we see Dylan De Silva just sticking his leg out. Now an opportunity for Hamza Mohammed, who is lining up behind the ball with Ibrahim to just stick it into that 18-yard area, as he does, and flicked off the head of Garrett Kelly, but safely through for a corner. And now the first corner for Maldives in this game, Reshwan.
Indeed, some good attacking threat from the Maldivians, which we haven't seen quite often, but well and surely here to play are the Red Snappers, with a corner to follow. Plenty of red shirts in that penalty area. Just couldn't be that front man on that occasion, so Maldives will be kicking themselves once again. A set piece, rather their first corner not going their way.
Not the right amount of quality on that one, and catching the head of the smallest player on the pitch, Dylan De Silva, as it tried to make its way in towards the box. And Maldives really have to take advantage of those opportunities to put Sri Lanka under pressure, because it's been all Sri Lanka these early doors. As Maldives now try to work themselves back. Ali Samu, Mohammad Faisal finding Ali Samu once again, and he's pushing forward here. Great cross, but Rajendram not taking any chances. Garrett Kelly on that second phase ball manages to get it away. Sri Lanka playing dangerously and playing it out the back. Hazmir under pressure. Hazmir looking for support, not really getting much. And he gives the ball away to Ibrahim Aysam. Ibrahim Aysam looking for that pass. He finds Hamza Mohammed. I beg your pardon, that was Ahmed Rizwan. But amounts to nothing at the end. And this exactly is where Maldives can capitalize because of this play that Sri Lanka is involved in, where they are trying to play out the back and hold on to possession. It puts some of their players under a little bit of pressure to the point where they do misplace those passes, Romario, and that allows for a turnover of possession that Maldives potentially has an opportunity then to take advantage of.
Coach Siaz watching on, giving his direction to the team for Maldives. Trying to get that pass away was Ibrahim, but unable to do so. However, Maldives still holding on to possession in centre field. They are looking for that big diagonal pass. This time it was Ibrahim Hussain. However, on the second time of asking as well, just lacking a bit of direction there, Ashwan.
Indeed, we haven't seen a great shift from that midfield to the attackers from Maldives. But still early days in the game. Plenty of time remaining as we approach the halfway mark of this first half. Both teams are yet to hit the target. Once again, almost finding Durant on the occasion. Kelly. Good dropping back work from De Silva. Put some pressure on that player as that cross to the penalty area goes in vain. Sujan Perera takes that goal kick quickly. Sri Lanka coach Abdullah Al-Mutari. Now once again Kelly. Back to Rajendra. Was partnered up well whenever needed for Sri Lanka. Now once again. Here goes Durant.
Beautifully done there by Kela to lay it off for Durant. Durant now looking for support on the inside. He's wiggling his way around. He's found Dylan De Silva, the Sutton United winger, on this side, and he puts across in a beautiful ball. What an opportunity! And a second phase opportunity of Sri Lanka, but again, well stopped by the keeper, but the referee has adjudged the ball to have gone out of play. But what an opportunity that was, and what a ball that was from Dylan De Silva.
It was begging to be put away there. However, unfortunately for Sri Lanka, no one really was able to get their head on it. Oliver Gellert tried his level best to head it back towards the side it came from, but unfortunately did not get a piece on that.
Oliver Gellert, after he goes back and sees that replay, will be absolutely be kicking himself. An opportunity gone down begging for Sri Lanka, we could say. Brilliant work from De Silva was just wasted, but nevertheless Sri Lanka still with possession. Foul on Durant. Guilty party on that occasion, Ibrahim.
Now Steven once again coming from that centre back position. Here's an opportunity now for Wasim Razik. Wasim Razik tries to wriggle his way through, but strength from Ali Samu. And what a beautiful touch that was from Oliver Gellert on that occasion. Nearly making up for his mistake. Opening grows there and absolutely opening up the Maldivian defence.
Need Sri Lanka knocking on the door now. And Sri Lankan attackers will have to show more promise up front. There's Kelly. We have quite often seen he drops back well. He's a midfielder who plays all over the park. Not your ordinary box-to-box midfielder. Now once again, Sri Lanka. They goes Rajendra down that right flank, gives it out to Kelat. Kelat with a ball that misses everyone. And once again, Sri Lanka attack just not coming to the party when needed.
Yeah, Kelat not quite wrapping his foot around the ball on that occasion. But a wasted effort and a wasted opportunity to once again put the Maldivian defense under pressure here, as here's an opportunity now for Ibrahim Hussain. Down this flank, he's taking on Jason Dayabaran. Jason Dayabaran does well to close him down, but it looks like it is a corner, and yes it is.
Second corner of the game for Maldives. The first one didn't go according to plan. There's the crowd well and surely quite eagerly watching on. When will a goal come out to just put this game a lot more interesting? Corner kick duties from Ibrahim for Maldives. Pinks that ball in from his left foot. Good header. And that's the Maldives who break the deadlock as we speak. In the 27th minute, it's Naiz Hassan who breaks the deadlock and gives the visitors the first goal.
Well, he surely caught us all off guard. So were the Sri Lankan players and the defenders looking at each other. Sujan Peratu, the skipper, did not know from where that one came in, but a soft goal, you could say, Deshan, there by Maldives, but nevertheless a goal.
Absolutely, it's a fantastic effort by the Maldives, and what a goal to have scored against the run of play. But Stephen calling for the support, but those are the basics of football, isn't it, Romario, where you stay goal side of your man and don't lose sight of him. But well done on that occasion by Naiz Hassan to just get behind the defender, and Stephen not really judging the flight of the ball very well, and it's the easiest header he'll ever score.
Pulled off did the goal scorer as the two teams take
A timely water break for Sri Lanka after conceding that goal against the run of play. And I think Sri Lanka prior to that goal were the more threatening side to go ahead. But Maldives says otherwise. The likes of Ibrahim and Naiz Hassan just partnering up well to give the visitors their first goal in the game, and the first goal in the South Asian Cup two-leg game as well. So plenty of work cut out for coach Abdullah Al-Mutari's outfit now, as chances did go down begging previously for Sri Lanka, and now hopefully they'll hope it won't come back to bite them. Once again a goal for the Maldives. The replay of it. An elated Maldivian outfit now will be eager to keep hold of this slender lead of just the one goal.
against the run of play. That was no doubt. But Hussain managed to judge the flight of the delivery and drop it in. Dylan De Silva, beg your pardon, that was Wazim Rasik trying to wriggle his way through, but was brought down, but the referee said that not illegally. However, now Sri Lanka, they know that they have to chase this game, even though we are in the first half, just half an hour gone by. However, Maldives, well, they are now starting to find a few holes in this defense of Sri Lanka. Dylan De Silva trying to do it all on his own and loses out possession.
Sri Lanka will have to once again regroup. I think after conceding that goal, they haven't been themselves. Sri Lanka, as Romario mentioned, will have to come from behind. Will have to come from behind quite well to try and get back into level terms and really put some pressure on the Maldivian outfit. Thayaparan now from the back.
And this is where you can really see the quality of the processes that have been drilled into these players, Reshwan, especially now that you have gone back one goal and the game plan, although it seemed to be working, suddenly is not. Now you can see how well Sri Lanka is able to maintain that composure and maintain those structures that can potentially create an opportunity for them. And a beautiful pass finding Dylan De Silva on the near side. Dylan De Silva, Hazmir has been fantastic at left back today, as Durant is looking for an opportunity. Here is the pass. Oliver Keller not quite reaching it, running into each other. Anujan Rajendram working it back to Stephen. Both the centre backs have been solid for the home side, apart from that little lack or moment of drop in concentration from Stephen that led to the goal. And they'll be taking a lot of encouragement from the way the teams have played.
Indeed, Deshan. Sri Lanka will have to pick things up quickly. Once again, that clearance pass from Sujan Pereira going out. So throw in favour of Maldives to follow. I think Maldives have done well. They have been patient, and whenever the opportunity have come, they have grabbed it well.
Absolutely, Maldives really showing that patience really does come through in this game, and they've been battered over the first half an hour, but they've done well to score the first goal and really turn the game on its head, and slowly but surely coming into life and really winning that midfield battle, or winning more of that midfield battle than they did previously. And just off your screen, something we saw a few moments ago, Reshwan, was Jason Dayabaran as the ball is floated in here for Oliver Keller and it's flagged offside. But something we saw a few moments ago, Jason Dayabaran screaming at Mohammad Hazmir to get back into defense. And that's what we were talking about earlier, which is the importance of maintaining this structure, that you have been coached despite the plan not quite going the way you want it to go, because that is where those gaps appear and that is where those opportunities really open up. And particularly on that side, Ibrahim Hussain has been a very dangerous man coming down this right flank for the Maldives.
Indeed, that dropping back work will have to be pinpoint for the likes of Hasmir, who's filling in big boots as well, replacing Jack Ingat in that playing 11. Will always not be easy. Ingat, a household name in the recent times for Sri Lanka. Now once again Sri Lanka trying to shift defense into attack. Thayaparan. Thayaparan's pass being intercepted by Maldives, who shift attack into a counter-attacking opportunity, and a possible 2-goal lead for the Red Snappers here against the run of play once again. Maldives have caught the Sri Lankan defense napping quite badly here. Sri Lanka.
Well, it'll be interesting to see the replay, whether the Maldives player was offside. But having whatever said and done, I think they drilled through this Sri Lankan defense very well, as we see this couple of passes.
Absolutely, and that's a beautiful pass that absolutely splits the defense, and it's the goal scorer helping the man that we just were warning about, Reshwan. Beautiful interception there by Ahmed Rizwan. Rizwan finding the number 10 Hamza Mohammed. Hamza Mohammed laying it off a nice Hassan, who made a perfectly timed run. And like I said just a moment ago, down that right flank. Here we go, just another look at the goal. Beautiful effort. And Ibrahim Hussain not tracked back. And the whole Sri Lankan defense having their hand up, looking for that offside. And the game now is very different to what it was a few moments ago. A 2-goal lead going into the halftime as we approach the 36th minute of this game. And Sri Lanka has it all to do. Maldives sitting pretty.
That's what this game of football can do, Deshan. Like around 50 to 20 minutes ago, it was all Sri Lanka. dominating proceedings, but against the run of play and against those Sri Lankan mistakes, I think Maldives have done brilliantly well to hurt the Sri Lankan outfit. 2-goal lead can be quite the mountain to climb for Sri Lanka.
Garrett Kelly was the player trying to step up and catch the opponent's offside, but I think he was the player playing them onside as well. As now Sri Lanka will have a lot of catching up to do. Dylan De Silva receiving the ball, trying to make his way down the wing, but dispossessed. And Maldives are now slowly but surely getting a hold of this game, Deshan.
De Silva has been absolutely fantastic when he does have space to run into, and he's been an absolute potent threat for Sri Lanka, but he hasn't been quite as effective today when he's lining up his man and trying to get past him. It's about the second or third time, I think, that he's lost the ball in a very key area, and I think it's important particularly to call on the support of the likes of Hazmir and really overload those numbers in those areas. Maldives has been fantastic in doubling down on the likes of De Silva, who have been very threatening throughout their time for the Sri Lanka national team. So they've done their homework, and now a free kick and an opportunity to test the keeper. The local side, the home side, has not been able to take advantage of these opportunities yet, despite on multiple occasions having a chance. And here we go, the ball coming in, and on that occasion Stephen not able to get enough purchase on that header. Maldives happy to take their time now. They've got a 2-goal cushion, and they are dictating terms.
Surely are dictating terms, and what doesn't look promising for Sri Lanka is that they have not been able to test the keeper still. 38 minutes into this game, and the Maldives shot stopper, he has not had much to do, as another long rake-in pass by the Maldives midfielder, however just having a bit too much on it.
Previous goal from Maldives, which really played him on that occasion. Kelly was the guilty party probably, who played Hassan on. That gave Maldives their second goal and a 2-goal cushion in this game, in this opening half.
In hindsight, we could say that it would have been a different. If Garrett Kelly had maybe tried to go and defend rather than step up. But having said that, that's that. And now Sri Lanka from left of the attacking corner receives the second corner of this first half. Beg your pardon, third corner, and this time around with the sun in his eyes, it will be Dylan De Silva taking the corner, putting it in. Getting the header was Oliver Kellart, but just unable to put direction on that header, as Maldives are now just taking things easy and calming things down.
Heading into the final 5 minutes of this first half, Sri Lanka will hope that they could get 1 goal in and go into that break, but this good Maldivian defense have kept Sri Lanka at bay. But as we speak, another good opportunity gone down begging. The Sri Lanka, if they continue in this front, I think it will be a very, very long evening for the man on the screen, Abdullah Budari.
The second time Leon Pereira finds himself in a promising position, but just unable to add the finishing touch, as a loop-in header comes, but just goes over the upright, over the crossbar, as we see that previous replay, Wasim Razik did everything right and managed to loop the ball into the box. But Leon Pereira just did not get enough purchase on that.
Absolutely, Leon Pereira with the absolutely right idea. You head it onto the ground, but he headed it too close to himself, and that was the problem. But the idea was right, execution a little bit wanting. And had that gone in, it would have changed the nature of this game. And the second attack also potentially an opportunity to take a shot instead. A header. As we have a look at that one yet again, and here comes that looping opportunity. I think Steven that was, if I'm not mistaken, and his header, a looping header, and it's always difficult when the ball is hanging in the air for quite a lot of time, but a little stoppage as the Maldives' keeper, Mohamed Faisal, gets his team to have a look. Maybe a little bit of a case of a stiff thigh. He's not been called into action too much over the course of the game, and when he has, Sri Lanka has not posed enough of a threat. But not that Sri Lanka has not had chances, they've just not been able to either get it on target or execute. And we'll see how much that leads to potentially Romario costing them this game.
Certainly execution has been a problem in the final third for Sri Lanka in this first 45 minutes. 43 of them have gone by. Maldives already just trying to run the clock down. Hashmir Begin for the throw in. However, the assistant referee says that it goes in favor of Maldives. Ahmad, not the best of throws there, but now yet again handed on a platter, and the left foot shot just goes off direction there for Maldives, and the Sri Lankans chasing the game. They have quite a bit of chasing to do. They find themselves 2 goals behind. Garrett Kelly has now pushed up a bit forward as Steven does not take any chances as he puts the ball out of play.
Sri Lanka really backpedaling now in the game as we approach the half-time mark. Maldives have done really well to get that 2-goal cushion. They wouldn't have asked for a better first half. And now once again Sri Lanka looking to build from the back. Jishan Thayaparan's pass was just intercepted, but in for a throw-in. 3 minutes of injury time added on for this first half. So can Sri Lanka try and change their fortunes in this first half? Things did come their way, but Sri Lanka haven't been able to get hold of it. Rajendram with the throw-in to Kelly. Rajendram gives it back to Thayaparan. Had a decent first half, but as the scoreline reads, it's a 2-goal cushion now as we speak. Rajendram tried to pick that ball into that penalty area, but good Maldivian defense have denied them once again.
Sri Lanka now with one final big attack on the cards as they try to wiggle their way outside this right flank. Cross coming in, well done by the boys on the right side of the pitch. Garrett Kelly once again involved. He's been everywhere for Sri Lanka this first half.
Now I think it'll be vital for Sri Lanka that they find themselves being the team scoring next, because 3 minutes has been added on.
think Sri Lanka missing the likes of Raja Mohan in set piece work as well. They haven't got their set pieces right, but can Sam Durant just change the fortunes? But the Warriors do continue. There's that corner kick just couldn't beat that front man defense. Sujan Pereira's clearance just going all out for a goal kick.
Hoofing it up field did Sujan Pereira, and the Maldives keeper Faisal, well, directing traffic and taking all the time in the world. But straight away you can see that Maldives have dropped their forwards behind, and it's Hassan, the lone forward, centre forward, who is in front, trying to cross the ball. But here goes Hassan with a single man to beat, and well done there by Hashmir for Sri Lanka. Still though, the ball at the edge of the box, shot taken, and Sujan Pereira called to make a save. It was on target, and Sujan Pereira does really well.
Indeed, he has really kept Sri Lanka in the game from that save. Mohammad Hasmir will be breathing a big sigh of relief. He did take that free kick quickly, but straight into the hands of Maldivians, who absolutely put plenty of power behind that shot. On that occasion was Ahmed. Straight at Sujan Pereira, but with a lot of venom behind it as well. It's half time here in Colombo, as Maldives will go into the break with a 2-goal cushion, as Coach Al Mutari and Sri Lanka will have to come from behind and will have to put on a big comeback game in that second half. It's a pleasant evening out here in Colombo, but not for the home fans. The Maldives outfit will be quite happy with how things have spanned out in that first 45 minutes. And that crowd as well will be quite happy how their team has come out here. Your halftime score confirmation: Maldives going into the break with a 2-goal cushion. But mountains are meant to climb, as Sri Lanka will have to come from behind to try and get a win here against a very formidable Maldivian outfit here in Colombo. We'll head into a commercial break and be back with the second half action on the other side. It's live action once again from the Racecourse Stadium in Colombo. A very disappointing first half for the hosts. Maldives have really shocked this Sri Lankan crowd here. But on your screens right now, a decent crowd in here at the Racecourse Stadium. But can the moods change here in Colombo? Time will tell us as we see some highlights from that first half. Sri Lanka were really knocking on the door, but chances did go down begging. But it was Maldives who absolutely came back after attack after attack. They had to defend from Sri Lanka. These were some absolute beautiful defending from Maldives. Really put Sri Lanka under a lot of pressure. Set piece work from Maldives did not go right quite early on, but these were some opportunities that went down begging for Sri Lanka. On that occasion was Oliver Kelart who couldn't get to the end of that header. But this was the deadlock breaking goal around that 27th minute. It was Maldives who broke that deadlock, and that interception that led to that 2-goal cushion for the Red Snappers. Kelly keeping him on and allowing Maldives to get a 2-goal cushion going into that break. A first half to forget for Sri Lanka, and the likes of those attackers, Leon Pereira really will be kicking themselves not being able to find the back of the net. Thanks to Sujan Pereira's late save in that first half, Sri Lanka still in arm's length to try and snatch this 2-goal lead away from Maldives. But Sri Lanka will have to really play out well in this second half, which is coming up in a moment's time, as the players take on the field for this important second half on our cards. It's the South Asian Super Cup, game number 1 if you have just tuned in. It's Sri Lanka who are backpedaling, and Coach Al-Mudhari would have had his fair share in that break. Sri Lanka will hope that fortunes may change, as we will wait and see that how many changes, or will there be any changes in the Sri Lankan outfit coming into this second half. An all-important 45 minutes coming up in the South Asian Super Cup, game number 1. It's Sri Lanka who have made a couple of changes, as we see. It's Hasmir who's been taken off, as Sri Lanka's playmaker Adavan Rajamohan comes to the playing field, and it's Rajendra makes way for Harry, who makes his debut for Sri Lanka here in Colombo. As the sun sets in Colombo, it's Sri Lanka who will have to come from behind once again against Maldives here at the Racecourse. Last time these two teams played here in Colombo, Sri Lanka came from behind and managed to win that game for all. So once again, Sri Lanka will hope that they could repeat heroics from that game. Likes of Wasim Rasik, who absolutely made a name for himself that evening, will have to repeat the good work from that evening. So it will be Naiz Hassan who will kick things off for Maldives in this second half.
And as we get things underway, Adavan Rajmohan and Zahir Adis have made their way onto the pitch for Sri Lanka, as Garrett Kelly looked for a beautiful pass early on. Dylan De Silva just unable to get that ball under control, but very early door, Sri Lanka looking for that speculative long pass, and Garrett Kelly has been fantastic at creating a few chances from those. But it's going to be interesting to see how these changes manifest on the pitch, particularly with Rajmohan now on the pitch. You'll see, hopefully see, as Sri Lanka's perspective at least, a little bit more technical control, especially in that final third, where Sri Lanka has been unable to really convert possession and convert territory into clear-cut chances.
Indeed, Rajamohan will play a pivotal role in this second half for Deshan, for sure. But will probably take some time for him to settle in as well. Sri Lanka will have their work cut out. Maldives with a throw-in.
You can see Raj Mohan has settled in to that pocket behind the two players up front, and they will no doubt, Sri Lanka will no doubt be hoping for some creativity off the boot of Raj Mohan, but they have to first get the possession, as they managed to do so. Hoofed up for Dylan De Silva to chase. He manages to win the delivery, but good cover defense. Think he should have got that ball into the box before trying to take it on, but that's that, as Sri Lanka have regrouped and are trying to press as they chase this game here at Racecourse Deshan.
Absolutely, and what an opportunity there. I think just a bit of confusion as to whether a foul had taken place, but the referee waved play on, and with support coming in, there was an opportunity to put the ball into the box, as well as Adavan Raj Mohan now stepping over these free kicks after coming on. Fresh pair of legs, and an opportunity now for Adavan Raj Mohan to find a teammate. Adavan puts the ball into the box. Here's an opportunity. Maldives gets it away. Well recovered by Sri Lanka. Durant back to Raj Mohan. Raj Mohan lifts it again, and here's an opportunity. Garrett Kelly on the far side. Garrett Kelly, acres of space. Oliver Kellart in midfield. Oliver Kellart, no support, but he turns beautifully. Oliver Kellart now with the through ball. Dylan De Silva sends across in. Here's an opportunity once again for Sri Lanka. Maldives turnover in possession now on the break. 3 versus 2 for Maldives. Maldives down this right flank, and the cross comes in. Sujan Pereira holds on to it. Sujan Pereira gets rid of it very quickly, and Sri Lanka early doors here, throwing the kitchen sink at it, really.
Indeed, I think that's exactly what they have to do, as a good cross comes in, but just a bit too close to the keeper. Faisal commanding the 18-yard box and collects that, but we can see that Oliver Kellart has got his elbow strapped quite a bit as he has come into this second half for Deshan.
Absolute Romario, he did go down in the first half with a little bit of a knock, and it looks like he's got things patched up, and you're seeing the right kind of intensity at the start of a game, particularly from the hosts who are chasing things. Oliver Kellart slotting to right back at the moment with that heavily strapped arm, and he seems to be carrying a bit of a niggle. And Maldives now with an opportunity. They've been very threatening and very nearly on that occasion. Ahmed Rizwan manages to wiggle his way through the defense.
Very interesting change of tactics from coach Abdullah Al-Mutari. Kellart playing in that right back position. Alien territory for him. But as we speak, Dylan De Silva drives himself inside that penalty area, but just not being able to put that ball into that penalty area. Nevertheless, Sri Lanka with the corner coming up with their set piece playmaker in the field, Raja Mohan. He will eye one of those tall, lanky players of the Sri Lankan outfit. The likes of Garrett Kelly and Jason Thayaparan will come into play.
Can a bit of an injury is Raj Mohan. I think that's why he did not start the game. But now he has an opportunity to impact the game. Corner swung in and trying to wrap his head around that was Harry, the substitute. The two substitutes trying to combine for the opening goal for Sri Lanka, to no avail though. Maldives now just taking their time, Reshwan.
Indeed, a very promising start from Sri Lanka in this second 45. Really attacked well and attacked with a lot of intent, but they'll need to continue the good work as his second half goes on, but good through ball being played on that occasion for Maldives.
For all money, we thought that the ball had gone out, but the assistant referee had other thoughts.
Once again, good alert defensive work coming in from Sri Lanka, putting that ball into a throw-in. Maldives will take their time in moments like this. Plenty of time remaining in the game, plenty of time for Sri Lanka to come back into this, but they'll have to be quite good up front as Sujan Pereira with a big kick downfield. Wasim Razik, but good work from the Maldivian goalkeeper, who comes out well, and probably done some damage as well to himself and to Sri Lanka's Wasim Razik.
Both players going hard and clattering into each other as we see the replay there. Wasim Razik trying to head the ball, but he did not notice that the keeper was getting to it before Razik was able to do so. Both players receiving some attention.
Hopefully both players are fine. Wasim Razik back on his feet. Still some repair work on the Maldives keeper. Very calm looking dugout in the Maldives side. Back on his feet is Faisal, who looks ready to get going once again. Good adult goalkeeping from him as well. Came out, really put body on the line. Not a full house here at the racecourse, but a decent crowd in here.
Disconsolate Sri Lankan fans looking on as their home side has gone 2 goals behind. Oliver Kellart did well to control the ball on the first time of asking, but the pass letting him down. Now Raj Mohan trying to pick Dylan De Silva, but now Oliver Kellart with an opportunity, cuts it back. Raj Mohan trying to get a shot away, Sri Lanka, but off target was Wasim Razik on that occasion. The second shot at goal in this second half, but unable to rattle their opponents, Deshan.
What a beautifully worked little play there. Absolutely beautiful work from Adavan Raj Mohan. Oliver Kellart, very unselfish. Maybe he should have taken the shot. And once again, Adavan Raj Mohan, nice little 2 touches in the box, works it out to Wasim Razik. He should at least be testing the keeper from there. And one may argue, Romario, that Oliver Kellart should have taken a shot himself. It's a very interesting tactical approach to see the man leading the line in the first half, now playing at a right back. It's not every day you see a number 9 playing a right back position, but it seems to be working for Sri Lanka. There is a bit of joy down that flank, but they really need to start converting their chances.
Indeed, and also that was a great boot by Samho Ali, who got in the way of that cutback by Oliver Kellart.
I think it's a mental aspect coming into play on that occasion for Oliver Kellart. He had a chance gone down begging in that first half, which probably put in a big dent in his confidence. I mean, if it was on any given day other than today, I think Oliver Kellart would have taken that shot. But Maldives, on the other hand, can really breathe a big sigh of relief. But Sri Lanka, if they are to try and get a win here, or try and at least get on level terms, they'll have to continue this attacking threats, and sooner or later they'll have to get that ball in the back of the net as well.
Sri Lanka chasing the game here at Racecourse as the mascot looks on, usually with the Sri Lions, but this time around with Sri Lanka football. Maldives though taking all the time in the world, Deshan.
Absolutely, and as we head into the hour mark slowly but surely, you can see the tired legs and the fatigue really setting in on the players. It's an absolutely beautiful evening here in Colombo. Sun was shining over the course of the first half, and beautiful orange skies as the floodlights slowly turn on here in the heart of Colombo 7. But what we can also see is that the humidity and the heat has played a part of Sri Lanka once again, now working it down beautifully down this left flank. An opportunity now. Onside still, but the keeper making no mistake.
But the assistant, the touch judge's flag goes up, Deshan. Unfortunately, Dylan De Silva strained a bit offside there.
De Silva has this fantastic ability to beat a man for pace whenever there is a foot race, and he's really stretching this defense. And based on how the team has lined up now, De Silva is playing as a number 9 with Oliver Kellart back here in defense. Oliver Kellart, just as we speak about him, finds Jason Dayabaran finds Steven in a little bit of a pickle. He takes no chances. Now Dylan De Silva taken out from behind. A little bit of protest there from Mohammad Irfan that he did nothing wrong, but you can't really push through the attacker when he has his back against you.
A sense of
Frustrations coming out now. Dayaparan really going at it. Sri Lankans will have to keep their emotions intact. They are the team who are backpedaling. They are the team who are chasing this game.
bit of a sense of urgency now coming in as Rajmohan, and in fact Oliver Kellart that was. Now Wasim Razik down the right flank, taking on two players, trying to get the cross in, but ricocheted off for a corner. Rajmohan with the duties of taking on the corner as the defenders come in for the corner. Deshan.
Rajmohan now with an opportunity to get a good cross into the box and put Maldives under pressure once again. His deliveries so far have been good, and he's put another one yet. And here's an opportunity for Sri Lanka. Garrett Kelly works it out wide. Dylan De Silva, he's taken down, but referee doesn't see enough in it. Ball first. And once again, the cross from Adhavan Rajmohan. He's been handed over the set piece duties since he's come onto the pitch, and he's been absolutely fantastic. He's put in some good balls as Sujan Pereira has put under some pressure, but he manages to get a beautiful cross away. Once again to Adhavan Rajmohan. He's really in the midst of it all.
I think that's what Sri Lanka did miss in that first 45 minutes. The likes of Rajamohan's flair and playmaking ability really didn't come into play in that first half. Likes of in that set piece work as well. Sri Lanka have been quite different from that first half.
The referee coming back says that there was no advantage. Dayaparan is surely getting heated up. We see the free kick in the few minutes ago wasn't taken it quickly. Hamza Mohammed was the guilty party who conceded that free kick, and now Sri Lanka through Rajmohan will be looking to tease this one into the box. Deshan.
Adhavan Rajmohan with an opportunity in a very dangerous area. The Sri Lankan lads definitely with the advantage when it comes to height. The referee blows his whistle, and here's an opportunity where Rajmohan sends a cross into the box. Second best, beautiful opportunity for Sri Lanka, and just
That's a
calls
penalty.
for a handball, and the referee
By the looks
yellow
of it,
cards the defender and points at the spot. Sri Lanka with a penalty in the 60th minute as we hit the hour mark. And this is now an opportunity for the home team to turn the game on its head.
Indeed, it's getting heated up there. Jason Thayaparan, debutant Harry, and the noisy neighbours for Sri Lanka. The snappers are here to play, and with that penalty, if Sri Lanka are to convert this, an opportunity for them to snatch this lead of 2 goals. A clear handball on that occasion, and he was penalised for that as well. A yellow card being given, and Sri Lanka was really up to it. Thayaparan really breathing plenty of fire, and a moment for the fans here in Colombo to find their voice back. It's Sri Lanka with a spot kick in their favour. Plenty of support now behind the home crowd. It's the referee who had to get in to the middle of all those argy-bargy stuff, as now the referee will have a word with both set of players, as the emotions will have to be intact.
Sri Lankan faithful looking on. By the looks of it, it's Leon Pereira, is it, with the ball. Irfan has been yellow carded. The technical team getting a bit excited before the penalty. Now we get confirmation that Jason Thayaparan too has been shown a yellow card in all of this, while all of these things have been taking place. It's Sam Durant lining up this penalty kick. Faisal in goal. Sam Durant from the penalty spot. Will he be able to cut the deficit for Sri Lanka?
A glimpse of silence here at the Race Course Stadium. Sam Durant steps up, and he's hit it wide. And if things don't go your way, anything doesn't go your way, Sri Lanka has absolutely had a mess of it. Sam Durant, exactly what was needed. He sent the keeper the wrong way, but just could put that ball in the back of the net.
Well, adding salt to the wounds for Sri Lanka. Sam Durant did everything right apart from putting it at the back of the net, and now the task just gets a bit steeper for Sri Lanka. Deshan.
Absolutely, just not good enough from Sam Durant. He's been very effective running into those spaces and connecting the attack, but he should be at least getting the shot on target. But that was a very bad penalty. It was nowhere near the goal. I think he kicks it almost with his heel when he tried to side foot that one, and I think that's what dragged the ball away a little bit more than he intended to. But at this level, this is international football. You need to be getting your shots on target, at least when it's a penalty. And you know what they say, pressure is really what defines you at the highest level of sport. And Sam Durant, on this occasion at least, just not pulling through, and Sri Lanka with yet another opportunity now to put some pressure. But how many more doors can they open over the next 25 minutes? How many more chances can they create? And how much more can they do to break the deadlock they have? And very nearly on this side of your screen, Sujan Pereira losing out on the ball. He's taking no chances. A little bit of miscommunication in defense.
Indeed, when things don't go your way, it just continues to just haunt you. Debutant Harry being booked after that just prior to that penalty from Sam Durant, which was missed. I think Sri Lanka celebrated a bit too early on that occasion.
I think at the press conference, the Sri Lankan coach Abdullah Al-Mutari mentioned that in this South Asia region, players tend to take things a bit too easy at times. I think that has come back to bite this Sri Lankan team. It has come back to haunt them. But taking things on a positive note, there is still time left on the clock for Sri Lanka if they are to make a comeback, as the goal scorer Hassan, who went off for a bit of ice, comes back onto the field. Sri Lanka chasing the game, and unfortunately for them, they are unable to string a few passes as well, Reshwan.
Indeed, after that penalty miss, surely the confidence level of the Sri Lankans have just come down a mile. I think Sri Lanka will have to do well in the next 10 minutes or so, heading into that final 10 minutes to try and change their fortunes. Tough times for Sujan Pereira and co. Around 22 minutes left to try and change everything. But things are not going well for the home side. The corner in favor of Maldives coming up. And just putting the coach's hat on you, Deshan. If you were in Coach Al-Mutari's shoes, who would have you given to that penalty?
I think it depends a lot usually when it comes to penalties on who decides to step up. It's a confidence game as Maldives here with an opportunity. Garrett Kelly, and the shot comes in, very nearly sneaking in at the near post. Garrett Kelly gets it away. And Maldives nearly tripling their lead and tying and putting away the South Asian Super Cup beyond any sort of doubt. One final roll of the dice maybe by Sri Lanka. They've taken Oliver Kellart out. He was carrying a bit of an injury. They put Niloshan Sendurvasan onto the pitch, and here you go, having another look, taking it short on that occasion. Hamza Mohammed then puts in a cross, and that man there, Ibrahim Hussain, he's been a real pest and a real thorn into Sri Lanka's defense, and once again very nearly sneaking it in at the near post. Another corner now for Maldives.
Sri Lanka once again will have to do well in the back to get out of jail, but still position with Maldives. Once again Ibrahim with a shot right on target, but makes no mistake on that occasion was Sujan Pereira. Sri Lanka making some changes in personnel. Kellart, who was put into that right back position, was being taken off. Debutant Niloshan. Looks like Kelly has now dropped back. Interesting tactics from coach Abdullah Al-Mutari, Deshan.
Absolutely, you can only coach a win. You can't go and win the game for yourself, but coach Abdullah Al-Mutari has definitely coached the win for these lads in the white strip, but they're just not executing that plan. Once again giving the ball away cheaply. Hamza Mohammed tries to find the ball in the middle of the park, gets the ball back, he gets dispossessed, and now an opportunity for a counter-attack. It's 5 versus 5. Dylan De Silva looking for support. He doesn't have an overlapping run, and Niloshan needs to be doing a little bit more to support his teammate. Dylan De Silva going all on his own. He puts a cross in and getting nothing on it. And this really is the difference between high-level international football and international football played in this part of the world, Romario. Usually, when you do see the winger playing inwards and trying to play in towards the goal, you always see your fullback overlapping, or you see your midfielder overlapping, offering an option. Dylan De Silva over there having absolutely nothing except having to take the man on himself, and he does well to win a corner that Ardhavan Rajmohan now has the opportunity to use to put the ball into the box.
Indeed, he was isolated there and he did not have any other option but trying to put it into the box. Rajmohan's corner, just unable to make anything out of it are the Sri Lankans. As this time around they go on the left flank, looking for a change of fortune, but nothing really working, unfortunately for Sri Lanka. 72 minutes on the clock. They have been chasing this game since half time and have received a penalty but not been able to dispatch that. Coach has changed a few personnel, hoping for a change of fortune, but just caught offside was Zahi Harry on that occasion. Well picked out by the replacement Niloshan, but just a strain offside. I think that has been the story for this for Sri Lanka this evening here at Racecourse. Have tried really hard, but nothing has really worked for them. As the water break in the second half is happening, Reshwan.
Indeed, timely one for Sri Lanka as well. Just a moment to probably regroup and just think what has gone wrong and try and change their fortunes in the next 13 minutes or so left in this game. But as things stand, it's the Maldives crowd who look quite happy out there in the stands, as their team has really put on a good show here. But Sri Lanka have themselves to blame, not being able to get back into this game.
The fact of the matter is that now Sri Lanka has to force the issue, and trying to do that never really helps your cause. Going 2 goals behind in the first half meant that the second half was always a mountain to climb for this Sri Lankan outfit. Expectations were high, as we see that penalty that went begging off the boot of Sam Durant. Not too happy faces on the bench.
Indeed, going back and seeing that penalty miss, Sam Durant will be absolutely being kicking himself. But still a time left in this game to try and get back into it. Can Sri Lanka pull a rabbit out of the hat? Things haven't gone their way this evening. Some changes in the Maldivian outfit as well. Number 23 making way. Facing is Hussein Nihan, who is replacing Hamza Mohammed. It's now taken a throw in quickly. Pereira to De Silva. De Silva back to Niloshan. Way back to Stephen. Stephen to Niloshan, who's showed some promise since coming on. Tayaparan. Kelly now playing in that right back position. Razik, who's been familiar territory to come back into games against his opposition at this very stadium as well. As Pereira once again pinks this ball to the box, and once again an header gone down begging. On that occasion it was Harry who absolutely made a mess of that header. Pereira's looping ball into that penalty area, did all the right work but just couldn't head it on target.
Again, just not good enough from Sri Lanka. What a wasted opportunity from Zahi Harry on his debut to score a goal to put Sri Lanka one away from tying it. But you cannot miss an open goal from 6 yards out. You cannot miss penalties and expect to turn games around. And that is exactly what the home side are doing. They are not putting away their chances, and they are not putting them away when they need to put them away either. The thing about playing football at this level, Reshwan, Romario, is that you get these chances. You miss one, you might get another. If you're lucky, you might get one more. But if you don't take these chances when you need to rather, you're not going to keep getting opportunities because these teams aren't going to keep making mistakes. A penalty and an open goal header is good enough. And I think if this game or this scoreline doesn't end favorably for the side, the home side rather, they'll have nobody to blame but themselves.
Now down the line goes Wasim Razik, cutting it across. It's across quite deep. Still in the box for Sri Lanka. Sam Durant swiping his foot at it. Still on this right hand side, Leon Pereira trying to make something out of it, but nothing really on. Gives it back to Garrett Kelly. Now Niloshan. Tight defense means that Sri Lanka has to work their way all the way from behind, and still unable to break this Maldivian defense. Leon Pereira gives it out to Garrett Kelly as he gets across, but put away. Garrett Kelly, the second time of asking. This time around does not cross it in, gives it out to Pereira. Appeals for a handball. The referee took his whistle to the mouth, and we all thought that he was going to point at the spot for the second time as well, but just not doing so. And Maldives now on the break. They had numbers but decided to take the more conservative option as Sri Lanka wins the ball back. Deshan.
A close effort, but the referee says nothing doing. As yet another wave of attack, and now an opportunity to guess the keeper. Here we go down this left flank, amounts to nothing. But a goal kick on that occasion yet again. Zahir Dis has been lively, he's created a bit of trouble. As we have yet another look, Leon Pereira with that shot, calling for a handball. The ball in a very short distance, going and striking Ibrahim Aissa, the midfielder. But the midfielder himself saying nothing doing. I think potentially because the body was very close to his arm. Sorry, I beg your pardon. The arm was very close to his body over a very short distance, and I think since there was no artificial movement towards the ball, but rather the ball striking the arm that was in front of him, that is potentially why the referee didn't decide that was a penalty.
Indeed, Maldives still managed to hold on to this 2-goal cushion. Heading into the final 10 minutes, it's probably now or never for Sri Lanka. Good ball being played out to Pereira by Rajamohan. Rajamohan with plenty of options up front. Opts to go with Durant. Durant to Kelly. Kelly back to Durant. Now Durant decides to cut in and loses position. And Durant's evening just gets bad to us.
Breaking down goes the number 7 for Maldives, setting things up, but for Sri Lanka, getting in the way was
Stephen with what a beautiful clearance.
Yes,
that was
indeed.
for Stephen to keep the score 2-0. Ali Fasir does absolutely brilliant after he won the ball off of Sam Durant. Durant has had a terrible second half.
Well, Deshan, if that had gone in, it would have meant curtains for Sri Lanka. Maldives still on the attack, gets a cross in, still keeping the ball in, gets the shot away, was Ali in the number 7 jersey, but just unable to work the keeper as we see the replay. Deshan.
Absolutely, Ali Fasir does beautifully. Very, very nearly manages to get Ibrahim Hussain the opportunity to bring the ball across. Ibrahim Hussain, that would have been his second goal, but fantastic defense for Stephen. I think he made amends for the error in the first half that led to the concession of the first goal, where he lost his man completely. and that was a 110% guaranteed goal that he managed to turn over.
Indeed, Deshan, and I think after that brilliant work from Stephen on your screens, I think the man who lost position, Sam Durant, will absolutely breathe a big sigh of relief. It's been an absolutely disappointing evening for Sam Durant out there, but with around 8.5 minutes left on our clock, can he change his fortunes? Time against him for sure.
Sri Lanka looking for inspiration from whatever source that it can come, but as of now, with 82 minutes gone, nothing has really inspired them on this evening. At the pre-game press conference, coach did say that his 2 defeats came when Sri Lanka were trying too hard, and I mentioned this early on as well. I think they were just trying to force the issue as Maldives take another shot. Sujan Perera, not once but twice, comes good. Sri Lanka, not the best of passers there by Raj Mohan. Now their shoulders have surely dropped as a flying tackle comes in, as we see that replay there. Taking the shot was Ibrahim.
And once again, following that initial shot from Ibrahim that Sujan Perera did ever so well to save, and on that break again Sam Durant lost the ball. That led to another turnover of possession in the middle of the park. And I do think that he needs to calm his nerves a little bit, particularly in the first half. Romario, he was fantastic, knitting those little moves in those little gaps, coming in from the flank, moving in towards the middle and creating a number of chances. I don't know if it's fatigue, I don't know if it's tiredness, but he's not making the right decisions over the last few minutes. And here's another look at that tackle, that
crunching tackle there by Nilushan, and he got booked as well, as Sam has been replaced, and comes in is Mohammad Khurshid for Sri Lanka. Well, you might say a little bit too late for the Sri Lankans, as the youngster comes in with a message from the coach, Mohammad Khurshid. Maldives over that dead ball is the number 4 by the looks of it. Gets it in. Well, it doesn't really go past the wall, and cleared away by the Sri Lankans. Nilushan puts in a diagonal ball collected by Razik. Now drifting in. Nilushan with the overlap of Garrett Kelly. Teased it in. Unfortunately, just a bit too much on that, as Raj Mohan was unable to get on the end of that tease in little ball into the area, as we see that replay there. And in fact, it was going in. The goalkeeper had to stick his hand out, and a corner for Sri Lanka, Deshan.
Yeah, Mohammad Faisal with a reflexive save as the ball comes in from Raj Mohan. He has an opportunity. It goes surpassing the entire defense. The referee sees an infringement and has called for a foul. Faisal goes down clutching his hamstring on this occasion as we tremble into the last 5 minutes. Just a little bit of debate going on with Wasim Razik saying nothing doing on his part at least. Samu Ali, the experienced defender, also making his case to the referee. And just another look at that one. There was nothing in it apart from Jason Dayabaran, who was trying to play for some space, but definitely at this stage of the game you can see the fact that the Maldivian team, particularly Mohammad Faisal, really milking the opportunities they have in terms of helping the clock tick on and roll on.
Ticking away with a little less than 4 minutes left in regulation time in this game, of course, for the two teams. I think that right back position has been a bit of an issue for Sri Lanka during this game. Reshwan, they have tried a few players there, but no one has really worked. Nothing has really worked, rather.
Indeed, for sure, Romario. I think missing the presence of Jack Hingett can really see that on show. Sri Lanka opted to rest two players from the back for these two encounters against Maldives, Claudio and Jack Hingett. And now once again Pereira has done well to make some headway. Plays that through ball to Kelly, who manages to get to it, but his kick has been blocked into a corner kick, showing plenty of urgency as Sri Lanka now. Niloshan to take over corner kick duties from Raja Mohan. He'll whip this ball with his left foot. Can Sri Lanka just pull things back? And he's absolutely made a mess of that corner kick as well. Missed everyone as a goal kick in favor of Maldives to follow, as Maldives will well and surely take plenty of time in it. Maldives just making a couple of changes. Samu Ali coming off for Hussein Yusuf, and Mohammad Ilan will play the remainder of this game in the back for Maldives. A change of personnels in defense for the Red Snappers to see off this last couple of minutes, as Maldives eyeing to continue their dominance against the island nation Sri Lanka.
The hoodoo of 23 years still continues for Sri Lanka, as this evening started off on the front foot did Sri Lanka in that first half, but two goals from Maldives, first from Hassan and then from Ibrahim, meant that Sri Lanka were trailing, and unfortunately a missed penalty by Sam Durant meant that this game has gotten away from the hosts, as a bit of karate is being played there by Mohammad Imran, trying to leap over the Lankan defender.
Youngest man on the pitch as well, 16-year-old Mohammad Ilan Imran, possibly one of Maldives' youngest ever footballers to take field. 5 minutes of added time here at the Racecourse Stadium in this first game of the South Asian Super Cup 2025. Maldives with 5 minutes to play to once again register yet another win against Sri Lanka.
Dylan De Silva from the right flank, getting the ball into the box, but it has been cushioned out of the head. Now Garrett Kelly trying to get the long throw in, cleared away by the Maldives player, as a slight break is on. 3-on-1 for Maldives, 4-on-2 Setting it up for the number 7 as he finishes the game. Ali settles the scores here at Racecourse as he puts the game to bed in the 92nd minute. Scores the third goal for Maldives as Sri Lanka will have plenty of homework to do, and they will no doubt be going back to the drawing boards with their heads low as we see that replay. The youngest player sets it up for Ali as he makes no mistake and puts it to the far post.
Beautiful work there by Mohammad Ilan Imran, timing it beautifully. And Ali Fazir, after having that goal stolen off of him, does absolutely fantastically to draw in the keeper and then round him with that ball, just side footing it into the far post. But we were just discussing this as Sri Lanka missed a host of chances about how they would pay for missing those chances as the game goes on, and that's exactly what Ali Fazir has done with a 3-goal lead in this first game. It's looking like Maldives at the end of this 90 minutes, unless Sri Lanka really get their act together and pull off the performance of a lifetime in that second game, have wrapped up this game and this tie together with it.
Indeed, Deshan, it will be an absolutely party time in the city of Male. Maldives, they haven't had the best of form, recent form. Getting back to winning ways against a very formidable Sri Lankan outfit, especially playing away from home, always not the easy case as well. It's Maldives who have done brilliantly well to upset this Sri Lankan team. It's Sri Lanka now who are absolutely down and out. Party time in the city of Male for sure.
Also, Rashwan, we need to mention that the trophy will be awarded on the aggregate score. So it will be vital for Sri Lanka not to capitulate and concede anymore. And if they are able to maybe sneak one in, it will be helpful for them in the next game at the end of this 2-game series as well.
Indeed, Sri Lanka will have their work cut out on the 9th of September in this second game of the South Asian Super Cup 2025. A 3-goal cushion for Maldives, who will absolutely enjoy the next couple of days as they have well and surely have one hand on that South Asian Super Cup trophy. But Sri Lanka will have their work cut out in the next couple of days to try and go back into the drawing books and come back with a strong performance on Tuesday evening. Sujan Pereira and co will be a disappointing outfit, but as long as the visitors are concerned, they will continue to dominate this Sri Lankan outfit. Is now once again Maldives at the brink of full time, but as we speak, referee whistles for full time. A visiting crowd here at Racecourse elated as Maldives clinched this first game quite comprehensively. A 3-goal win for them as the Red Snappers continue that dominance against Sri Lanka, marking their 10th win against Sri Lanka. The party will continue later on till the night in the city of Male and here in Colombo. It's Maldives who win comprehensively.
Sri Lanka have been humbled on their own paddock here at Racecourse, but having said that, the tie is just 50% into it because we have one more game left, and the Sri Lankans, if they are to win this South Asian Super Cup, well, they will have to beat Maldives with an aggregate greater than 3 goals in the next game, which will happen on the 9th of September here from Racecourse. Well, the game comes to an end with 3 goals in favour of Maldives, 2 in the first half by Naiz Hassan and Ibrahim Hussein, and 1 in the second half in the 94th minute courtesy Ali Ferzer, means that Maldives wraps this game up 3 goals to nil. And Sri Lanka, well, Sri Lanka, they have plenty of homework left, Reshwan, to do.
Indeed, Coach Al-Mutari and his coaching staff will have their work cut out in the next couple of days to try and create a memorable comeback in that second leg of the South Asian Super Cup. But as of now, it's the Maldives who run away with the win and run away with it quite comprehensively. A 3-goal win, as we have mentioned, but it will be quite a tough mountain to climb for Sri Lanka in that second leg, Romario.
Certainly will be, but in this great game of football, nothing is really a given, so there will no doubt be plenty left to play in this second leg as well. But an elated bunch of Maldivian players and support staff, officials enjoying the win, and the coach will no doubt give his chargers instructions of enjoy the win, boys. But the war is not won yet, though we have won the battle here on the 6th at Racecourse grounds, Reshwan.
Indeed, the South Asian Super Cup still yet to be played. It's nevertheless Maldives with a 3-goal advantage going into that second game here at Colombo. But as the huddle breaks out for one last time this evening, it's Maldives who have done brilliantly well to win this game against Sri Lanka. Recent form, which was quite disastrous for Maldives, have come to an end with a big win away from home against Sri Lanka, and plenty of work will be cut out for Coach Al-Mutari and his boys on Tuesday evening. The meetings will continue in the next couple of days, as plenty of changes will be expected from the home side come that second game on the 9th of September. But a learning curve for these lads on your screens, but they still have plenty to play for in that second game. But as long as everyone is concerned, Sri Lanka will have to put on a show, and put on a very memorable show to try and get back into this tie, which is quite a tough one.
No doubt a tough one for Sri Lanka, but taking things into account, if you're a Maldivian fan, well, you will no doubt be extremely delighted heading out of Racecourse, as your team has put on quite a show. They came in as underdogs, did Maldives, into this tie, but they have stunned the home team and the home faithful watching on here from Racecourse and all around the world. But now Sri Lanka will have a bit left to do.
Indeed, we have a player of the match interview down there. Over to you.
Ibrahim, a big win against Sri Lanka, 3-0, not an easy one. What are your thoughts about this game? You all didn't have much practice as well, not much local leagues as well. What are your thoughts about today's game?
alhamdulillah syukur mi horiha kulonterin wes kori bora masekke mi warang undagu meche ayro singe team ay ko kule ero warang undagu ana ke horiha kudin wes mi mechuka මසික්කේ කෝරි එම්මෙන්ගේ එෆෝට් ලෑගෙන් මේ මැච් වර රංගල කාමයාබ කරා.
Firstly, Alhamdulillah, then we know it won't be an easy game. Only the result came because of the effort of the players. They all did a very good job in fighting. The fighting spirit was there. That's the reason we won today.
And how do you rate your performance today? You're the man of the match today. How do you rate your performance?
උම්මේද කරන්නේ මේ පුරේ රංගල අස්ලු කුලේ එකම් අල්හම්දුලිල්ලාහ් වර රංගල දැන් ගෝහෙන්නෝ.
It was not the best, but he can play better, he feels.
Okay, and Coach Siaz, coming into the game, you said Maldives have had a very difficult time in terms of not having leagues, but today against Sri Lanka, who has been on the rise as well, to defeat them at home 3-0, not an easy task. What do you think about today's performance, about your boys?
First of all, Alhamdulillah for the win. It was not an easy game. Although the result was 3-0, it was a very hard game, very hard for Sri Lanka. Played very, very well. But our boys did a lot of work. The effort was important. I told before the game even, it's not the result that is important for me. It's the effort that you guys put, it's important for me. If you put the effort, no matter what the result is, we will know that we did our best. We gave our best on the field. Today they gave our best on the field and we won. Alhamdulillah for that.
And going into the next game, 3-0 win in the first one. That's a big result for you all, almost having one hand on the trophy. What are the positives and the negatives that you take out from this game?
No, we never think about that. This result will never count, you know. We will never count of this result. It's only the matter of the next game. The next game is important. This game, when we go to the next game, this game we will never count. We will focus on that game only and try to get a win as well. That's what we are trying to focus.
Okay, thank you very much and all the best for the next games.
Very happy looking Maldivian contingent. An absolutely elated outfit will they be. And they'll absolutely eye that South Asian Super Cup title at the end of that Tuesday evening game. The coach did mention that it was a tough game, even though they did win quite comprehensively. But as things stand, a 3-goal cushion going into that second game will be absolutely golden for this Maldivian outfit. Sri Lanka, nevertheless, will have their work cut out. Sri Lanka will absolutely be disappointed how they performed in this game. But still, they have time to regroup and rethink what didn't go right to Romario and surely come back strong in that second game on Tuesday evening.
Certainly, they will have to go back to the drawing boards, go back and review this performance. They will no doubt be reviewing the way Maldives played as well and see what went wrong for Sri Lanka. And I think one thing I can mention is the right back position was quite a tough position. But before we discuss any further, we will go in for the interview with the Sri Lankan coach Abdullah Al Mutari.
Abdullah, not the result that you expected, 3-0 loss against Maldives. You had high expectations. What are your thoughts about today's game?
We miss very easy chances. So when you miss very easy chances, you will receive goals. For me, I am very proud of my players. The performance, everything was good. Only we have bad luck in finishing. So it is okay for me. But we have still 90 minutes. We will back, inshallah, in the second match. We will back.
In the second game, 3-0 is not easy to overhaul. You all have to play a very good defensive game as well as score at least 4 goals as well. What are the positives and the negatives that you take out from this game?
The negatives from this game that Maldives fans was more than us in our home ground. You need to feel that is your ground. Maldives fans, all the time I am hearing their voice. Our fans just coming here to see. The second match we need to back. We will work now, no rest from today. Tomorrow we have training, meeting, and we need to back. If we want to qualify to Asia Cup, we need to show our personality. So we need to back. Inshallah, we will back.
Thank you and all the best for the next game.
And a disappointed Sri Lankan coach Abdullah Al-Mutari sharing his thoughts on what went wrong this evening. As we have a look at the second half highlights, Rashwan, the game started on, the second half started off with Sri Lanka throwing in the kitchen sink towards Maldives, and well, there were quite a few injury stoppages. Sri Lanka made a couple of chances which were diffused by die-hard Maldives defenders. Sri Lanka surely won a corner as a penalty rather. Just after that, this was that penalty incident, the handball, but unfortunately Leon Pereira, he hooked it wide, beg your pardon, Sam Durant hooked it wide, and Sri Lanka were pushing hard to open their scoring, but nothing really worked for the home team. Harry missed that golden opportunity as Maldives too missed a sitter, but the youngest player Ilan set up Ali Fazir as he tucked it in and meant that Sri Lanka had to face defeat. Here are the stats, Rashwan. 7 shots for Maldives and 8 for Sri Lanka, Rashwan.
Indeed, and look at that, shots on target, just the one. That won't help the cause for Sri Lanka. Coach Al-Mutari, looking at these numbers, will go back and rethink and gather all these thoughts coming into that game on Tuesday evening. So Sri Lanka will have their work cut out. Just the 2 fouls being conceded by Sri Lanka to Maldives, 9 fouls. So that's been the story for Sri Lanka, and these are the upcoming fixtures, Romario.
As we graze over this Colombo city, Sri Lanka, well, they have their second fixture of this South Asia Super Cup left against Maldives here on the 9th of September from Racecourse. On the 9th of October, in a month, they play Turkmenistan at Racecourse, and the return fixture in Turkmenistan means that those 2 games will give the fans a good picture of where the Sri Lanka's AFC Asian Cup qualifying situation stands, and they also round off that qualification ties against Thailand and Chinese Taipei, which happens in 2026 if I have not mistaken. As we look over the night skies of Colombo, as Sri Lanka unfortunately fall short against Maldives 3-0. And until we meet you again on the 9th of September from here at Racecourse, signing off from the commentary box, it's Deshan, Reshwan and Romario, myself, alongside our technical and production crew. It's thank you, good night and goodbye for now.